10 seriously insightful books that will expand your mind. These are no ordinary good reads for a pleasant reading night. Not only will they grab you right from the beginning, but they also won't let you go long after you're done reading. These books are all about people and life-changing decisions they have to make. The main characters in these books confront cruel realities but still don't give up, remaining strong. After reading any of these, you will definitely look at our crazy world through different eyes. 1984. 1984, often written as 1984, is a prophetic novel by George Orwell that was first published in 1949. It's considered to be a classic from the dystopian fiction genre. In 1984, for the first time in fiction literature, the reader was introduced to the Big Brother theory and the notion of totalitarianism. The book was totally ahead of its time, as most of the issues addressed in 1984 still remain relevant in world politics. Fahrenheit 451. In his dystopian novel, master of science fiction Ray Bradbury skillfully describes modern society and one of its main ideas. The world is driven by the idea of consumerism. All books that inspire the reader to analyze life decisions and think more responsibly about life should be banned and burned. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? The author reminds us that the worst thing in the world is when people lose their special connection with each other. When they part ways with nature and the intellectual heritage of mankind. The Trial. Franz Kafka finished writing The Trial in 1915, but the book was published only after his death in 1925. This is an incredible story about bank employee Joseph K., who was arrested for no apparent reason. Throughout the story, Joseph K. struggles against the utter absurdity of his situation. But will he find out the truth and of what he is accused? A Confederacy of Dunces. Ignatius J. Reilly is an eccentric intellectual, an extraordinary slob, a lazybones and a fat Don Quixote rolled into one. He disdains modernity in general as it lacks theology and geometry. He fights his very own battle, a war of all against all. Ignatius J. Reilly is, without a doubt, a unique character in the entire genre of satirical literature. Brave New World. This is a utopian fiction novel about a so-called ideal society created by the world controllers. Most people are satisfied with the way things are organized in the world and in their lives, too. They enjoy genetic engineering, brainwashing, recreational sex and drugs, and strict division into castes. But there is always one who strives for change. Lord of the Flies. The allegorical novel by Nobel Prize-winning author William Golding has become a bestseller and was included in compulsory reading programs at many colleges. The story follows a group of boys stuck on an uninhabited island. As problems appear, the cruelty of human nature reveals itself in every way possible. Catch-22. This is the classic story that proves there is no space for sanity and faith when bureaucracy reigns in every aspect of our lives. The story follows the service of Captain Yossarian during World War II in a bomber aviation regiment in Italy. His main opponents are not the Nazis, but his own army. The captain finds himself in a deadlock situation because of Catch-22, which makes it impossible for him to be excused. Tuesdays with Morrie. Tuesdays with Morrie is a touching biographical story about Mitch Albom and his mentor, Morrie Schwartz. Many people leave their mentors behind at some point, and the ideas they shared gradually escape their memories. Mitch got a second chance to meet his sociology professor, but this time his tutor suffers a deadly disease and has only a few days left. Flowers for Algernon. This is a short science fiction story about handicapped people and how the past affects their futures. Charlie Gordon. A man with an intellectual disability undergoes an experiment that may enhance his brain power. But the only problem is that the experiment has never before been tested on a human being. The things they carried. Using metaphoric expressions, Tim O'Brien describes men and their feelings during a war. The book actually depicts the author's experience as a soldier during the Vietnam War. O'Brien's peculiar style based on his own biography blurs the boundaries between fiction and nonfiction.